Welcome back, my friends. How you doing? Hope it's good. I'm doing wonderful. And just as we launch here, I'm just like that. Always makes me think Cyrillic alphabet. I don't know. I know what that reference is. Um, anyway, had a great break. Hope you guys did as well. One of the things I did while I was away, I made up a big fresh pot of iced tea. Well, at least I started it because I always cold brew my iced tea in the fridge. Um, So I got that going for the weekend. I'm excited to have it and have a chance to hang out with you guys. I also rethought a little bit at the end of the last episode. I was like, oh, let's try to go make a run for the base, and I don't think I want to do that yet. And I hope you guys will hang out for this episode um, because at least now, while we're here and present, I want to um, get us established all the way up to our access back and forth, and hopefully kind of frame out the area that we're going to be working within. And roughly, I think that we'll see how it all plays out. It's all subject to change, but roughly, I think it's going to be straight along this edge and all the way up to this point here, and then we'll do this area all the way around here to here, back across without worrying about any of this, and make this kind of square our area of operations. So that's kind of the idea, and um, just by getting the stairs built up into that, I think we'll have a good opportunity to knock things out. So, without further ado, let's begin the building upward episode, as I think we'll call it. That will give us, well, we already had some. That'll give us enough to get these stairs and these bases. And then here we go. And as you guys will soon see and be aware, uh, we don't need to worry about over clearing anything. So as we come up here, I think that's our next step. It's kind of tough to even see what we've got going here. So yeah, just as high as we can conveniently reach going up here will just help keep it visible what we're trying to do. Drop another couple stairs on and go up further. Excuse me. I don't know what that was all about. That is blocks. So it's kind of a race here to see if we get to that internal gap or get up to exposed. You know what's no. Sorry, can't use stare there. To see if we get up to what's essentially the Witherskelly farm, or if we're into that exposed area that we have to kind of bridge our stairway across. I don't know. It's kind of the fun of doing it, seeing where we come out. When we get to the top, we'll need to make an allowance for preventing all the mobs that we want to spawn up there from coming down on our heads. Because we know what just clearing that area will do. And down below, as you've seen, we're a little vulnerable to piglins and pigmen. Sorry, this is just... Oh, I don't have a torch hand. Torches don't do a lot. I'll try to give you guys a couple here. They'll eventually go away anyway. But, okay, now we're starting to get some of the blaze sounds from above. And you can see I'm not quite as aggressive on the overhead pick. And it may just be foolish, right? We may already be there, but as we start to get up to levels where you can hear blazes crackling and withers shuffling around and all that, I slow up a little bit so I can try to keep that from being just up. There it is. All right. So this is our area. Let's do those two, and that should bring us up to the floor. Now I can Whoa! What are you doing, little fella? Hi! Anybody else want to come while I'm trying to do work here? Okay, so the next stage here is... Ooh. Check, and it looks like we need one more set of stairs to get up. There we go. Oh, come on. Now, I think I can do those. Alright, we're going to break these two, and then we're going to go up and clear the trap room. Suddenly I can't see my health. It's a little disconcerting. So there we go. We've gotten this bit done. And so now just outside of here, we'll maybe do it like this. Oop, that was a miss. Oop, oop. That one was right. Clean up our little mess here. I'll throw a torch there. I think I have... I don't think I grabbed any more fence pieces, but we may have some right here. Perfect. Back over. Just a little bit of light. I don't think that will impact our... oh. Now, I hope the blazes don't burn down that door every 2 seconds. Be a shame if they did. Get. I guess that's one of our axes. Ha! Why can't I place blocks where I want to? I don't know how many of those we need for headroom. Stop. But I'd like to contain that a little bit more. I think that's fine. Okay, so this will keep farm activities up above and quarrying activities down below. Down here, we have two-headed, so nothing that's going to spawn mobs going on right in and amongst and around us and all that kind of stuff. We're pretty well clear. Let's... get our boxes back out here, put all that stuff away. These two can go 22 and 22, those are both full. So I'll get another deal here, and I think, I know we have a stone box, but let's just put those in there, and for what it's worth, let's throw a bed in there where I can totally lose it. Alright, so we know the staircase comes up right on this wall, and it goes, I think, as far out as we've, well, obviously it doesn't, because up here, we're in a big, massive area. So what we want to do is leave our floor level here intact, and then right below it, making sure I'm not, yeah, that's right. So right below it, we start to quarry out, and what we'll do is just come back here until we get to there, right? And then we've got our beginning of our rectangle established. Now all these can then clear until we reach our stairway hole. There it is. And then we know that here, or I guess we're further in. So we'll do the same thing here until we get back to the point where we're okay, don't care. Ooh, yeah, something, don't die. Alright, but that wall is still good to there, right? And then these two are gonna be our heights up above our stairs here. At some point we we're gonna reach up to the elevated floor that we were at. And I think we had 40 pieces of stone. We went up 20, so allowing for the rotation of the earth and a few dings to the old chronometer, I think we're I don't know, maybe a dozen or so rows up in this direction. And I'm going to do these isolated, I think. Until we kind of get defined on the staircase. And there's that. Now we just need to go. Oh. Far enough here so that we have access to the stairs themselves. And then I guess we should really run back down and see what shape this all takes. Oh man, now I can't get through because of my things. Okay, so that was that little nubbin. And I don't think we care too much about that little nubbin. I think we want to stick... Of course you're going to come back up here. Boundaries, my fellow pigs. Alright, so we're going to leave that. We know it's there. We just don't care too much about it, really. We want to be able to go out and around and keep this rectangle. So all of this stuff can just keep coming back. And by continually dropping the floor, we're keeping the spawnable area for those from turning into a complete mob farm. And I guess this does pretty well. Ooh, that's scary. It shouldn't have been scary. It should have been pretty expected, but I guess that'll trap anything that spawns up there and wants to walk over. It'll just fall outside the wall instead of inside. I don't know if I'm doing doing right or wrong by leaving those, because we're going to have to get up the stairs and have little walkways and all that, so who knows. But I think by kind of following the stairs back, get this. So I hope in this episode to get this little section dropped all the way down, and once we're set there, then looks like we got 2 more before we had the clear ceiling all the way up. Then define the rest of the quarry at the top and start, with whatever time we have left, we'll just clear our way down. Now, if this doesn't do it all the way, it'll get us pretty close. So now this does, excuse me, open us up a little bit to wither skellies. From above us down here. But we'll throw some torches and all that. And as we're working our way down around the bigger area, they won't be present and won't be waiting for us when we do come back down the stairs. Let's get all these blocks before we have an issue. And by keeping that too high below, we won't have the giant slimes. Maybe a couple blazes. I don't know. But really not going to be too much we have to worry about. But this is what we now, this is the real work that we have to do here is figure out how far in we want to go and where we want to make these cuts. And so this is cut number 1, right? This is negative 9717. I think 9717, right? Negative 9717. So that's the first place we want to get to upstairs. Negative 9717. So we're going to go all the way up to our top level below the floor here. And it looks like it's this. Okay, so negative 90, we need to go 16 more blocks. And we have to watch out for those internal corners, but I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. Here. 13, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, this is where we're going to go forward from here. So we'll throw a torch. And I apologize for the debug screen. It gives you something you guys can see clearly, and it really is going to help me. Okay, so this is our 717 corner. This time, excuse you, this time we're going to go all the way, and we're trying to get our outer edge of the big rectangle that we want to work. So this time we're going on the negative 90 line, and we're going all the way down to negative 110. All right. So 20 blocks. One of these times I gotta switch out my pick too. I guess that was a goof. I don't know if that's because yeah, that was the edge. That's weird. I wonder why I had that posted so differently. Yeah, whatever. What do we want? 110? And we can poke a little hole here, it's fine. Alright, there you go. 110. So that was bang, right what we wanted. Now we're going to seal up these holes, and it's not bad to let in a little light. It won't matter too much. I mean, we'll leave a few of these around the top. But as far as windows or anything go, it doesn't matter too much. We're not going to be able to see what all's up there. So we're basically going to just be coming down in a smooth-walled box. Let's drop these. That's not tools. Here, we're not getting max use out of the pick, but we're not going too much further, I don't think. So while they go back upstairs and do their job of getting in the way, yes, I don't know why I felt the need to. That's crazy. What? What? Why are you breaking on my door up there? That's not cool. Okay, so we were up to this corner. Now, are we going to... We know we came to here. We are at the negative 110 up to 734. Let's get that done. All right, and this is 734. Yeah, I don't know why they would just aggressively go after that door. Do they just hate doors? Is it kind of like turtle eggs or anything else? Is that just kind of bait to them? Did I just turn that off when I got up here? 24. Thirty, 2, 3, 4. Torch. Alright, this is the bit we need to go back downstairs and really figure out. I hope they didn't break my door. If they did, I hope they're stuck. Here. So again, we're going to have this big area is fine. We can just work through it. Now this is where we got to, right? 734. I think we want to come back to here, maybe, or do we just go across? Is it worth... I don't think it's worth any of this zigzaggy, squiggly stuff. So not across. We're going to go all the way down to this corner. This is negative 82. No, for starters, let's go here. Negative 84. And then we'll come back to 95. '84, then back to 95. It's probably quicker to go around. I get that. Okay, we're going to 84. So this is a long haul. Two, three. 84. Torch for now. Why did I say 95? How does that help us at all? Like 695? Is that what we're going to? Maybe. I think that's the most reasonable explanation here, right? And don't you worry, all those mobs that we're... So dark. I can't see either, guys. You're seeing what I'm seeing. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. Torch. Long way. And back. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, those are our stairs. Good. I was like, oh, we're already out. That's surprising. Nope. Not at all. So all we have really left to do is to make sure that we don't break our stairs. All right. Good. Never... Oh, no. Screenshot. Never need that screen again. Which is awesome as far as I'm concerned. Now we just gotta wait for that little screenshot notification to go away. There we go. And now we just have a nice dark deal. Now, one thing we will want to do after we get done with this layer, and before we do others, we're going to kind of go carefully here. See if we can minimize stuff. So we need to put a little stone or cobble or or these bricks, whatever, around the base of those walls so that we can catch, just like we did in that tower that we took out. We want to catch any blocks that get away from our natural magnetism. We got a magnetic personality. Everybody loves us. But we do, all joking aside, we do want to keep as much of that as possible, not just let it go to waste. So we'll make a little deck down there in the lava. I'd like to keep some of it for a little bit of light. This opening will be, I'm sure everybody's heard the term tenement housing. Back in the day, I don't know if they were advertised or marketed as tenement, but when they were first built, the styles of apartments that traditionally became known as tenements, and now it can kind of just refer to any slum-like low-income housing, but there was a specific apartment style that really became traditional. It was as cities like New York and other big metropolitan areas like that went from, just like wood, whatever kind of a architecture you got. You got a lot, you put up things, you tried to make it rentals for a bunch of income, right? And try to get as many families, individuals, whatever, into that space as you could. Well, there was a model that became known that at the time, compared to what cities had been, where it was like no consideration whatsoever. These were really appealing, and they were these buildings that were kind of shaped like an H. And what they allowed for was to have airflow into the apartments. You could open up windows, and you had these courtyards where air would, in the city would come down into your individual space and kind of ventilate fresh air. And that was this whole idea, was that these cities were stinky, cramped places, and it was more healthy to get airflow going back into the residents through courtyards and windows and all that kind of stuff. So at the time, very innovative. Later, it was like, well, yeah, you're just, you're trapping air that isn't escaping out of the city. So, yeah, you got a courtyard with a little bit of air, but everybody's sharing it, and it's basically just a settling point for smog and all that kind of stuff. So, good idea, didn't, over the long term, didn't work, but it's that kind of idea that we want here. We've got this airflow pocket, or light more accurately, and really it's just in the way. We'd just as soon have this all be solid, but we're gonna go down around this and keep grabbing all the blocks we can. As you can see, we're gonna get a lot of mining done, and by just going straight down, we won't have any more mobs than we minimally could, just as we go back and forth. But they're not going to spawn right on top of us. We'll have a little bit of combat as we go, but no internal safety rails or windows or anything like that on this side. We want those blocks, and there's not enough threat to warrant not doing that. And the lower we go, at this point, we can't even have wither skellies up here. So I'm not too worried about getting pushed off the edge, right? The further down we go, the less threatening a potential push would be, right? Because there's less falling distance that we have to deal with. I don't think we're going to get a lot of ghasts in that little cube of an area, so that's good. But we'll kind of work from there. And you've already seen eventually this whole area is just going to be that same open space. So that's where the lack of any additional threat, we're not going to have more space in it. That way, it shouldn't really negatively impact our farm above, at least to the extent we can. Now, I don't think torching does much, but we're gonna go ahead and torch this bit as much as we practically can. It doesn't need to be like, oh, it's base, we don't want a surprise creeper kind of deal. But it'll give us whatever reduction in mob spawning we can have down at this level. And it's pretty bright anyway from the lava, opening up these windows and all that. It's pretty good. We'll keep that. We'll do a similar bit of lighting kind of at our ankles, and then that'll be our lights. The ones up top that we do right now, and the ones down here that we'll work towards. And everything else is just kind of as is. It's not worth wasting the torches, other than it helps you guys see a little bit. But I think between the two, you'll kind of know what we're seeing. We'll learn together. But this opening is what? No, not that opening. This opening, right? No, this opening. This opening is what we need to deal with right now. Need to get. Oh, I put all the. Of course, I put all the blocks away. So we want to get just a little too high access point here, and we'll maybe do this. I don't know of an optimal distance from blocks that may kick out above and flutter down, how far out they could get. But because I want to keep some of the lava for light, I'm just going to go 2. If anything kicks further than that, it was destined to go in the lava. Not much we can do about it. And these, of course, can now spawn wither skellies. So that's why the access point here is only too high. And all of this is only too high. Come on. It's a big area. It gets right down to it. Oop. Don't need that. Theoretically, I guess we could, because it's all a regular roof, I guess we could just go no walls here as well. Eventually we will, but we'll leave it for now. As is, it feels good. Your trouble. I hear more. Don't know where they are. Look at you with your fancy sword, which you don't want to share with anybody. See how it is? I guess we'll leave a couple extra there. Oh, we do still want those for just a minute. Let's go get these torches up. And like I said, we're going to put these and then... It was a little jump scare. I'll admit it. Even though it's impossible to have a wither skelly, or as we've set this up. trying to kind of prepare myself for that. Someday, viewing forward, we'll be live streaming on Twitch, and I would hope at someday we are worthy of giving audience members the opportunity to jump scare us with sounds and all that kind of stuff. We'll have that. I don't know that anything can spawn there anyway, but here we go. Now, let's take a look at our time. 46. So now let's see, with all of that work done, how long does it take us to just mine one of these up? What's our level rate? And that'll give us an idea of, do we want to keep going, or do we want to just fill up the shulkers we got, call it good, and move on? I like to keep variety, but with a project where I know we're going to need a bunch of this stuff to frame in our drowned, I also, if it's working and we've got a good system, maybe we go through needing to repair and then go. I'll keep throwing panda screenshots on these to suck you guys in. Oh man, he's still mining the Nether Fortress. What are we doing here? And it is, when we start to open this up, it's the lava slimes that I actually fear the most, because they can knock me into that hole. Again, I don't think, we know from the silo for a fact we fell from 32 blocks and it took us down 2 hearts, I believe, with our feather falling. And, in theory, we can even angle or hope to get to the lava where we wouldn't take the fall damage. We'll immediately take a little burn damage, but we do have fire res on some of our gear, so that's not too big a deal. But yeah, this is where, for the rest of it, we'll begin to get a feel for how dangerous is what we're doing, how many mobs are split off, but it's another reason not to leave, right? We may be at cap just with everything that's spawned up above us in the farm, and if we can keep them upstairs and keep us working down here, that's going to be an interesting proposition. I knew that netherrack was a tough sign. But yeah, those slimes could throw off our progress, knock us down, keep us going. And again, if we can move pretty quick, then not much can spawn around us. Just due to the proximity rules. But oh yeah, that's the gap, not a mob. Kind of looked pigmentish. So what does that take us? We're almost done. Then we'll check the time again, see what we're in for. We can begin to calculate a little bit of like episodes and all that. Don't think tools are going to be an issue. I think we can do all we've got here within a repair. Alright, there we go, and we are at 50, so about 4 minutes per level. Which means we get to do at least one more before we wrap up this episode. Let's just keep plugging away. I guess the other thing to look at is, how's our inventory? We're just fine. We won't have to be running down every time for shulker emptying. And who knows, maybe we can knock a bit off our time as we get a more familiar pattern or something. Who knows? is periodically run down just to gather up any of the blocks that do fall down to our little lava deck down there. And like from early sand breaking and all that kind of stuff, when you're clearing for fields and all that, you know, when you go back and forth like this, some of them do kick out to the side. Because the bricks take just that little bit of extra, we can usually hover over and at least be next to them to get as many as possible. You know, it's not like we're sitting far away and it's just breaking them while we're a couple blocks off. Well, we'll see. See how we do for time and gathering. How many blocks we get. But I'm kind of thinking while we're here, it may be worth just doing the grind. Getting this fully cleared. Or at least till I and you guys may teach me after the fact, but at least until I can't stand it anymore. Almost took myself off the edge. We don't need lava slime to push me in. I can do that myself. Alright, so when we get done with this layer, I think we will be at episode break kind of time, which should be into the 50 minutes type range. So we'll run downstairs, do the shulkers, get everything squared away, go check for any that may have eluded us and fallen to our little deck. And we'll do a quick run around just to gather up any that are still up here. Alright, so lots of room. Our time is at 54, so we're staying on that consistent kind of 4-minute-ish lap. This one that I'd seen, which made me think we needed to do this run. There's another one over in the corner. Couple. And knock on wood, at least so far, we are not hoarded over with mobs, so that's all we got. It's not a massive amount. Alright, no, that's not what we wanted to do at all. Pick you up. All those are good and full. Never hurts to double check. Another batch there. Run over here. Just check for checking's sake. We did pretty well. Oh no, there it was. Earned its keep. I don't know that we should push it. We're at 55:29. I think let's just call it good. Let's go back up. All we can. Check to see if there's any surprises when we're up here. Alright, so we will wrap it up right here. And I'll warn you guys now, bushy eyebrows. Everybody that has stuck around till the end of this episode, you get fair warning. I think the next episode may be us just clearing this down. I think we may be able to get it done in an episode. We'll see if that's overly ambitious or not. But I think it's kind of like a Band-Aid. just got to deal with it, get it done, be done with it. Then we don't have to come back and keep worrying about it. And we should have plenty of bricks, I hope, to then do the internal part of the drown farm. And like I said, as I've been considering it, I think maybe we will just go ahead and set up a kind of lazy river collection system for the drowned to get sucked into. I think I can manage that. I haven't seen it. The person that I've seen do that, I think some of you may be familiar, some of you may not at all. John Bamzo is a Twitch streamer, and I've certainly enjoyed his content. He's got an awesome one going in his world. He doesn't go to it very often. He's, for anybody who doesn't know, 5-hour type episodes, and he's up in the 400. I know, way above that. I don't even know. It's ridiculous, and I've been watching him since he started HCMC 100, which I tag all my tweets with. That's unofficially what we're trying to get done here. But yeah, in his third world, he's really about big dumb builds and oversized drowned farm near his base that will ultimately kind of replicate this system. I don't remember exactly how he did the baiting and all that kind of stuff, but I got a pretty good idea of how to make it work. So we'll see if we can set that up too. If it doesn't, if it gets frustrating, we'll just seal them all in, and I'll go in and fight them, unfortunately, kind of in the dark. And that's what I'm a little concerned about. Is normally I would just make the box and go in and fight and swim, bash around, take them out. It's fun because you get a lot of the combat, you get a lot of the risk of death to yourself. But from a mob management perspective, it's a little tough to show you guys what's going on there. So we'll see how it all plays out, but that's the plan. I think next episode we'll be all here getting bricks. We'll see how long it takes us, how quick we can be about it, and get it all done. So for now, you guys rock. You know that because you're here, right? We're all hanging out together, and you're among friends. So drop a comment, say hi to everybody, and we will see you back here for the next one after a break. See ya.